feeling fatigued and can barely make it through the day without some type of caffeine?
Are you on a journey of healing your body but need a little help?
Then alkaline water is what you really need.
Alkaline water has many benefits. Alkaline water can help restore pH balance in the body. Consuming beverages such as soda and coffee can make your body acidic.
Did you know that too much acid in your body has been linked to an anemia, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, autoimmune disease, chronic pain, and other chronic conditions like gout and arthritis?
Those who use alkaline water have reported increased energy levels, clearer skin, reduction in inflammation, better digestion, and many other health benefits. I've used alkaline water for years, and it's been instrumental in sustaining my health when I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis.
Are you ready to take responsibility for your body's health?
If the answer is yes, then our alkaline water is just what you need. Bring your own bottles. It's only $3 for each gallon. To place an order or for more information, you can reach us at 773-846-3091. Thank you in advance for your support.
Welcome to the Toma Nation's weekly Sunday Warship service. We are an all-inclusive, Black-conscious, righteous movement dedicated to the social, economic, and spiritual survival of Black people in urban America. If you enjoy what you see and hear today, the Toma Nation would like to extend our invitation to you and your family to join us each and every Sunday from 12:30 to 1:30, live here on Facebook from Chicago, Illinois. Tune in and be fed by God's messengers. For more information, you can reach us at 708-730-4858. Please join me as I recite our opening. In the name of the everlasting Father, He that causes all that exists to exist, He that is self-existent, He who directs the sunships of millions of years, and He who made time the seed of the universe. Known among the ancient Kemites or Egyptians as Amun-Ra and Aten, among the Hebrews as Ansav, Yahweh, and Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims and Islamic world as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah, Rastafari. I bear witness that all these names refer to the same one, Almighty God, and it is to Him whom I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, the descendants of those Black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are the Lost 13 tribe, born in North America and our Renubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the earth flows through our veins. I greet you in the ancient yet holy words of peace, Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Habaragani, Alafia, and Ashe. Now we are going to transition into our 13 points of what we believe and know. Number 1, we believe and know that we are not to repeat the mistakes of the past prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator of the heavens and earth. Number 2, we believe and know that we can only establish an economic base through the application of the knowledge of self and the incorporation of the ideologies of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Mahatma Gandhi, and Ben Ami. Number 3, we believe and know that the prophets and messengers of the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, and the Kemetic Holy Books were all Black. Number 4, we believe and know that Jesus Christ of 2,000 years was and is a Black man. Number 5, we believe and know that the knowledge of the Almighty Creator goes beyond books written by the prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator. Number 6, we believe and know that in order to promote and coordinate unity, we must first recognize and accept the uniqueness of being able to worship our Creator, regardless of religious denomination, name, title, ritual, particular dress, or holy book, as long as it recognizes the Almighty Creator of the heavens, earth, and the universe as supreme. Number 7, we believe and know that it is impossible to tell the truth without exposing the wicked governments of the world. Number 8, we believe and know that the United States government, in collaboration with other European nations, have a denial objective to exterminate dark-skinned people of color off the earth through the act of genocide. Number 9, we believe and know that some of the most effective methods that are being used today are AIDS, birth control, alcohol and drug abuse, gang and domestic violence, systematic elimination of trauma centers, the public school system, and public aid within the Black communities of America and the world. Number 10, we believe and know that the last trick that Satan is playing on us is the dividing of us by our religious differences, religious gangbanging. Number 11, we believe and know that the conflict between the various religions are comparable to the conflict between various street gangs within the inner cities of America. Number 12, we believe and know that the war on drugs and gangs is a diabolical plot to disarm the Black community of weapons, break up the Black family, withdraw our constitutional rights, also kill and incarcerate young Black males under the undercover code name Able 2029. Number 13, we believe and know that every letter, shape, sound, and numerical value contains esoteric information that completely transcends the specific contextual meaning of the word. Our purpose: to bring about the growth of a righteous community in accordance with the laws of the Creator of the universe under the leadership and guidance of Brother Minister Raheem Fased Upton, to provide solutions to the social and economic ills that plague the Black communities of urban America, to re-educate and retrain youth and young adults to develop positive moral values as an alternative to delinquent behaviors, because you can't rebuild a community and not rebuild the minds of the residents of the community to meet the responsibilities of maintaining the community's image. Our mission: to enhance the economic development of our communities by establishing businesses, real and personal properties, thereby creating jobs and/or entrepreneurship training programs that will reverse the concept of leaving the community to buying back the community. Our motto: let your light so shine before men that they shall see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Matthew 5:16. Now please join me as I recite our salute to the red, black, and green flag. Make sure you're paying attention and your right fist is in a ball raised in the air. Here's to this flag of mine, the red, black, and green. Hopes in this future bright, Africa has seen. Here's to the red of it, great nations shall know of it. In time to come, red blood shall flow of it. Historians shall write of it, this flag of mine. Here's to the black of it, 400 millions back of it, whose destiny depends on it, the red, black, and green of it. Oh, flag of mine. Here's to the green of it. Young men and women shall dream of it, face shots and shells for it. Maidens shall sing of it, waving so high. Here's to the whole of it, colors bright and pole of it. Pleased is my soul with it, regardless of what it's told of it. Thanks to God for giving it, this great flag of mine. Please keep your right hand in the air as we sing our Black National Anthem.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise.
Black power, black power, black power. Black power is the power to define, develop, and defend that which is in the best interest of Black people. Greetings. Thank you so much for joining us for our weekly Sunday worship service. We are so glad to see you and your family today. Please join me as I welcome the youth minister of the Temple of Mercy Association, aka Toma Nation, Minister Taharka J. Shakur.
Peace, peace. In the essence of the eternal divine spirit, the one that is self-existent that causes all to exist, the one who directs the sunships of millions and trillions of years, and the one who made time the seed of the universe. Known among the ancient Kemites as Amun-Ra and Aten, among the Hebrews as An-Sof, Yahweh, and Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslim and Islamic nations as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah, Rastafari, among the Yoruba tribes of West Africa as Odumare, Eshu, and many other Orisha names. I bear witness that all of these names and many more refer to the same one, Almighty Creator, and it is to that one that I give reverence and submit. I boldly proclaim that we, the descendants of the Black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are the lost 13th tribe, born here in North America and of a Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all nations flow through our veins. And I greet you in ancient holy words of peace, and that of our ancestors, in Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, Abaragani, Alafia, and Ashe. Again, my name is Minister Taharka J. Shakur, but I came into this plane of existence as still the Mao's Carter. The Temple of Mercy was founded and is an all-inclusive Black righteous movement dedicated to the upliftment of Black America, founded by my leader and teacher in God, Minister Rahim Kasset Aten, co-founded by Minister Omari Jahi Aten, and our First Lady is Sister Makita Aisha Aten. I just want to say again, Black power, and Black power. More specifically, because Black power is all we need. And as it was beautifully defined earlier, it is the power to define, to develop, and to defend that which is in the best interest of Black people. Today's lecture will be covering the statement of come out of her. But more in depth, one of the main topics that I will be speaking about is what does that separation truly looks like on a mental plane and then on a physical plane. But let's start off with what do I mean by come out of her. We have heard it be said by many people for years, and many great leaders from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and it's even in the Bible where God prayed to his people, telling them to come out of her or you will be destroyed, just as she will be destroyed. I want to quickly read from the book, The Fall of America, by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And this is not going to be the only time I'll reference this book in this lecture today, because the message that he gave to the Black man in America and the warning he gave about the fall of America both talk about how we as a people need to come out of her and create a nation of our own. Interestingly enough, he even states that yes, he had the Nation of Islam, but there was something to be created on a greater scale, which he claimed to be the Black nation. So this God was predicted by the prophets to come to the defense of this people, so-called Negroes, in the last day after they served the enemy for 400 years. The Bible declares to Abraham in Genesis that God will judge the people to whom his people Abraham would be in bondage. This does not mean Israel. This means the present Black people, the members of the Black nation who have and are fulfilling their prophecy. Understand what that prophecy means. It is that it is time. We went through the bondage as 400 years, as many of us know, the history of Black America. understanding that it is time for us, as I have a good amount of time to really get it all out and give it to you straight and clear. And hopefully that my message that I bring to you comes out clear, and that I hope that the Creator and that divine essence flows through me to deliver this message. I want to start it off by saying the prophecy. What is the prophecy that he was talking about? 400 years. We have been going through that 400 years from the time that our people were stolen from the shores of Africa and then brought to this land. And then the people, our people that was already here, were also put into this slavery and captive and shown and then put through some of the worst bondage. And those were your children of Israel right here in America. The true Israelites are those of us who are the descendants of those black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade. Understanding that no, the slave trade did not just happen here in the United States of America, but then the greater diaspora is the chosen people, but we are the chosen few here in America, that it is said in many different people will be the cornerstone, the bricks, as Bob Marley. I won't even say honorable Bob Marley, because he did some honorable work. His message and music is a very key point in helping our people come out of her, that I'll get into a little bit later. But when we understand that the foundation for this new nation, that it is so easy for us to come out of this nation. And I will go to the point in saying many of us want to have surface level conversations about how to work in this system. When we know that America is falling, that the great Babylon is falling, our people went through 400 years and still we strive. Still we see on the other end of it how great we are as a people from our great history. Last year I did a series in August called Making Black America Great Again. Because when Trump was talking about making America great again, he didn't understand at the time when America was great is when black people were doing their own thing. And understand, one of my biggest questions I like to ask people now, after putting two and two together, if slavery ended in 1865, how was Chicago founded by a black man in 1813? There's a little known fact that they're not sharing with us, that Black America was self-sufficient and self-governing in it of itself. I now want to read a little bit more to set the pace for where this lecture is going, to get not to say to get the reading out the way at the beginning, but to get the reading out the way at the beginning. But now in Message to the Black Man, he mentions a nation of our own and a nation within a nation. And then I will show you how we are a nation of all nations. But let's go to what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because here in the Temple of Mercy Association in the month of November, we give reverence to one great teacher in the name of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Every month is a different month where we study from or teach on different leaders, as the minister at the beginning of the month always talks about our different prescribed readers in different organizations. Next month, though, we have a surprise, because we are not going to be talking about anyone else, but we're going to be talking about the Toma Nation and what it is that we bring to our people as a righteous movement dedicated to our people. A nation of our own. The poor slave, after his masters let him go free, his first problem to solve was securing a home of his own for the first time. He must now do for self. Master is no longer responsible for him. He must solve his own problem. He must now realize that he must work hard to be equal of other nations. He must also remember that justice and righteousness is his defense, and wickedness his enemy, and the downfall of his government and his people. He must learn to make friends and to protect himself against enemies. He must dig into the earth for her rich treasures. He must now seek the friendship of other nations, to do business with them, and to trade product for product. But if the slave is lazy, he will always be the slave for another. No nation respects a beggar. We, the members of the original black nation of the earth, who were once lost from their own kind, are supposed to be free. It absolutely does not make sense for us to be seeking integration with our slave masters' children instead of seeking unity among our own kind. I'll get back to reading, but again, I want to reiterate that last sentence. It absolutely does not make sense for us to be seeking integration with our slave masters' children instead of seeking unity among our own kind. See, it is one thing to say separate, but I've gotten to a point where I don't worry about separating. I'm more worried about us unifying. I'm more worried about the black man and the black woman. See, because I don't perceive them. I'll go into that a little later. I don't have no sympathy for them. All of my attention and my focus is dedicated to the black man and the black woman of planet Earth, the original people of planet Earth. As you see on my shirt, we call ourselves the original man in black, but I like to say the original man is black. The I is interchangeable. On this side. The I is interchangeable between is and is. Because understand, when you are the original man, I understand that if we have been on this plane of existence and we're the first and God's chosen creation, and I will even go deeper because I've already hit you guys with it, so I will continue to hit you with it, that the black man and the black woman is God. And understand that it is our divine unity that is that eternal one God. And if we will not come back to that divine unification of our people, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, our unity is more powerful than an atomic bomb. That was the level that he understood it, but I want you to understand it, that there is no power greater than the unification of the black man and the black woman. Because when we were unified as one, and I'm not talking about just one black man being unified with one black woman, I'm talking about the entire black nation coming together and unifying on its own, separating and coming out of her. And no, I'm not saying, and I will never say, at this disposition of time, that we need all our people. I understand that most of our people, and if you look at today, our followers. Well, I'm looking, and we in the Toma Nation, and we in the righteous need the righteous leaders of our people, knowing that there's a small few, a select few, who will see at this time that there's no power greater than them, that there's no white man with his foot on their neck, because they have no feet to stand on. They are only able to stand up because we are sitting down. And one of my favorite statements and one of my favorite things to scream and shout as I walk through the streets of Chicago is that when the original man stands up, everybody sits down. Because understand that they fear. See, white supremacy is not a real thing. It is white fear that they have. And they fear more than anything the black man and the black woman becoming one family. And then they know that when the black man and the black woman is family, that families create community. And then when you have a community, communities create nations. And that is one of the biggest things they are afraid of. And we see what happens to our nations when we don't understand one thing first. That if we are not putting the Creator and putting God first, because I am not just a true believer, but I am an example of when that statement in the Bible says, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. No weapon. None of their system. No corruptness that they have. No technology. No propaganda will thrive or will be able to be used against us when we understand and accept who the black man and the black woman are on this plane of existence. When we remember who we are. I will continue to read a little bit more of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's words. There is not any earth offered to us in integrating. There is not any earth offered to us in integrating. How can we and our children be an independent nation of this earth without some of it that we can call our own. See, when we look at where we were at that time and who Elijah was talking to, see, because I take it to a step further. This whole land that we call earth is our own. That we should not be asking or gaining ownership. I hate hearing certain conversations. It gets under my skin, this fleshly skin, because it's not getting into my spiritual skin. Those things don't bother me. But the personality that is Taharka Shakur, it gets under my skin to hear our people have surface level conversations. Because the thinking that I have, I don't get it. And as the minister was listening to something earlier, and as he was saying that it sounds like me and that's me, the thoughts that I have and the way my mind be racing and the things that I see, I do not understand why our people can't see. See, because what I see is a nation of our own where it's black people everywhere. That many of us cannot see that separation is the most important thing and is the most pivotal thing that we must do as a people. See, when we say separation, and I told you I was going to get into it, my main two topics is first mentally. And mentally, we have to understand first and foremost what the Honorable Huey P. Newton said, that we need to have a revolutionary suicide. You need to kill the white man inside of you. If you do not believe in this moment, unless you already have killed the white man inside of you, because listen to me, I speak truth to power. It is no longer being the devil's advocate, because that is one of the stupidest phrases that I have ever heard. Who wants to advocate for the white man? But being truth's advocate, truth to power, and bringing truth to power and power to the truth for the black man, that you have no need to feel that your master, who has never ever actually been your master and has deceived you to believe he has any power over you at all. So you need to come out of that thinking. Come out of the thinking of the white man. Come out of the thinking that you need their medical system. Because if you look at the medical system the way it is not to actually do anything to cure. Understand, we as black people, we naturally want to cure things. When I use the term cure, we want to eradicate it completely out of the body. But the white man and the devil and his demons, right? The devil and his demons. I will get into that because Honorable Elijah just called the white man the devil, but I believe he got some demons, and that's the rest of the non-blacks. I'm going to make some people upset today. But the truth hurts. That's why people say they're the devil's advocate, because you Christians are hurt when they hear the devil's name. So no, I am truth advocate, because I am giving no power to a name called Satan when it comes to dealing with our people. Because the only devil that truly exists is the white man and his demons, the non-blacks. But when we talk about coming out of their thinking, coming into a thinking of our own, we have to reprogram our minds and deprogram them from the whitewashing that we have gotten from the day you were born. If you are a black man born in America or a black woman born in America, they have been whitewashing you and brainwashing you to love them and hate yourself. You will hear certain celebrities, when questions are asked, do you love white people? They say, I love all people. You will hear them say and ask them, do you love black people? They will then tell you, I love all people. Ask me that question. Do I love white people? No, they are the devil. I will never love the devil or his demons. Ask me, do I love black people? I say yes. I love black people because they are God, and I love me some God. So I want you to come out of the thinking that you need the white man, that you need the yellow man, that you need the red man, and that you need the brown man. Because only the black man is all we need. And as I go into that and explain the thinking that we have had, you believe and think, because I won't say no. No, you believe and think that you need to go to them to get a job. You believe and think that you need to go to their systems of education to be educated. But what are they really bringing out of you No, when they are using education, they are putting something into you. They want you to be subservient to their system. We cannot no longer go and come out of their hospital. They have always had a decree on the black man, or specifically the black child. It was at the time of Moses. It was in the time of Jesus. And it was in the time of now. And it has always been because they want to stop the rise of the black messiahs. And I won't just say one, because if you read certain scriptures and certain texts, it doesn't talk about just one of us coming. Because we always ruled in the council. And again, the one is the divine unity. The one is the oneness of us in God. And when we are divinely connected as one, so me and Yahshua are one. Me and my minister Rahim, are one. Me and any brother or sister that hears this, we are one. The I that is me is the we that is I. Oh, I like saying that. I love that statement. The I that is me is the we that is I. That oneness that brings us back to our Creator is that God that many of us are searching for. But it is in you the same way it is in me. So again, when I tell you to separate from thinking that you need any of them, the only thing you need is another black man. The only thing you need is God. And guess what? That is you. Why would God need a job? Why would God need an education from them? Wouldn't it be better if the God was educated by other gods? Why are we being educated by God and not God? Why do we feel that we have to go to them to get educated? When we talk about come out of their thinking, come out of their thinking. You do not need to think in the ways of greed. Greed is their God. The gold, oil, and what the D stand for? Gold, oil. When they be talking about what God stands for, gold, oil, and you get what I'm saying? Well, that's there. But gold, oil, and one more thing. I'm gonna say dollar bills in this moment. But that are the things that they strive for. If we look at how they create their system, and they have a small few having billions and billions of dollars, and then we follow in that thinking, and we want to be the Joneses and live and acquire such wealth and great wealth and hold it to ourselves. They're paying basketball players millions and millions of dollars to entertain them. They're playing football players millions and millions of dollars to entertain them. They're playing rappers millions and millions of dollars to deteriorate our minds. Come out of their thinking. Come out of their music. We should not be giving music like that to our people. We should not be degrading ourselves. But that is their thinking. The thinking that the woman is less than us is their thinking. Understand that the woman is great. And trust me, I'm going to read some more from the Honorable Elijah, because he understood that the black woman is our equal. He understood that they should not be prostituting and whoring themselves in the street, to be giving up their bodies, that he showed them that they should be more proud of who they are. But this American world, this system that we have been in, that we have fallen into their thinking, we even think certain things that go against God and that are natural. When I say go against God, remember, it goes against the black man and the woman that is God. And right, you only become God once you become one. When the black man and the black woman become one, they then become God. Other than that, you're just a black man and a black woman, because it's our divine unity that makes God. And yes, when you become one with heart and mind and with another person in heart and mind, you become God. It did not say a man. Again, I'm about to make some people upset today, because I'm trying to wake the gods up. So those who do not want to be God, you are not about to like these comments and statements that I'm going to be sharing for the next hour. Disclaimer, I don't care. Because we are at a state where we need to come out of her now. That we have to understand that if we are not able to shift our thinking first, when we separate from them in a physical place, we will still be white people. And we see what happened in Africa. I'll use Africa as an example. It don't matter what the face looks like. It's the mindset that they have in power. And many of us today, if we were to separate and create a community of our own, we will still have the same problem that we have today in America, because many of us are European in black bodies. We have become more European than the Europeans, in the same way that in Jesus' time, the blacks became more Romans than the Romans. The same way in Moses' time, the Israelites became more Egyptian than the Egyptians. And when I say Egypt, I'm not talking about when we ruled the world. Understand that. And I would like to continue reading Elijah because this is inspiring me so much. We are like the hunter dog, whom the hunter is tired and wishes that they would go away and hunt for food for themselves. But the poor foolish dog is there whenever his master sits down to eat, standing in the door begging with his tongue, hanging and wagging his tail. But at the same time, he had gone into the woods looking for a meal. He would not have to suffer the hatred, kicks, and curses of his master. The world is pushing us to do for self. The white man don't even want nothing to do with the black man anymore. Understand that. They have a goal to exterminate us off the planet Earth. That they're not trying to live and integrate with us. I don't care how many allies. And understand, I'm not going to take it to that point, because there are some of us that has a chance to be redeemed. And not some of us, I meant some of them. But understand me that there will be a judgment. And judgment is happening to America. Judgment is happening to the world. Judgment on how you treat God is happening. See, I don't want to say God's people anymore, because if I say God's people, you will not understand that you are God. And you and the treatment that the non-blacks of this world have treated us is they are going to be judged because how they treated God. And the major reason why you have to come out of that thinking, because they got you thinking that God is some spirit living out there in the ether, in the universe, that is this all-knowing spirit, all everlasting thing, that when you die, you're going to go see. But I tell you that when you go in the mirror, you go see. That when you're walking past and you're in a neighborhood of black people, that all you seeing is God. But they don't want you to think like that. They don't want you to see yourself as a divine creature. See, we want to be righteous people, right? I hear so many times and separate, but understand, and I'm going to get into that. Spirit told me to hold on before I went into a deeper part about the separation and coming out of that thinking. But we need to understand that the moment that we understand, the moment we understand that everything that has been created, even in this time, as lowly as it is, was created by us. That every invention, because they have no creative germ inside of them at all. The only thing they can do is listen to us, hear things that we can do, and mimic it and copy it. Understand that they even was taught by us, not even on the degree and the level that we have been taught on. That's why we have to come out of that thinking, because we think that they have taught us when we have taught them. We think that they civilized us when we civilized them. So come out of that thinking. The next thing you need to do is come out of their diet. What do you mean, come out of their diet? 6 million of us a year die from what we eat. I understand that we know the life expectancy in these bodies are kind of frail and small. But the average human that's not black, the oldest people on earth live to be about 120. The average lifespan of the black man is 63. The average span of a black woman is 68. Again, the oldest humans on earth live to be 120. And guess what? They don't have the diet of the white man. And what is the diet that I'm speaking of? How often do you go eat fast food? When was the last time that you sat down as a family and ate together? See, when I go to the diet, it's just not what you consume, but it's also how you consume and when you consume. See? Yeah, you liked that, didn't you? See, come out of their eating schedule. See, the Honorable Elijah in How to Eat to Live, he was showing you that the black man and the black woman needs to eat only once every 3 days. That you also should technically, if you can't do that, you should start just eating 1 meal a day. They lie to you and say you need to eat breakfast. The only thing you need to do in the morning when you wake up is drink some water. Say that one more time for people who didn't hear it. The only thing your body needs for you to give it in the morning is a nice cup. I'm not going to say cold, because you should not be actually consuming cold things into your body. Our body is not fit for that. You will also cause shock into your body because it stays at a certain temperature. Tidbit. But a nice cup of water, just so your lungs, and I was just reading something earlier that somebody sent, and I might go into it because it was talking about how to properly love your body and what your body actually needs. And I am actually going to read it. Interestingly enough, my spirit was like, no, it's because you're talking about coming out of their diet and what their diet has us doing, because even consumption is a major part of diet. So it's not only the things that you are eating and drinking and when you are eating and drinking and how you are drinking and eating, but do you also understand that you consume things when you breathe? That is a form of consumption. When you breathe in, isn't that entering your body? Aren't you consuming the air? But in their diet, we're not only consuming air. You are inhaling toxins in forms of cigarettes and cigars, in form of weed and all the other things that we consume inside our body. That is the diet that we need to come out of. See, because when we consume these things, the pledge, I don't know if you heard me give that pledge. Well, understand the pledge that the black man took in 1995, that he would take care and eat healthy and consume things for his proper well-being and not put drugs inside of his body, because the Honorable Louis Farrakhan knew that our people were consuming things that we should no longer consume into our body. And one of those major things are the drugs, but more specifically, the cigarette. I understand, right? Understand that I understand. That when we smoke cigarettes, there's the science behind why they look the way they do. Many people who smoke cigarettes, guess what? They weren't breastfed. Why? Because they always wanted that love from that. And so, what does a cigarette actually look like? It looks like a nipple. If you actually look deeper at it, but not just any type of nipple, a white woman's nipple. Because last time I checked, black women's breasts are black like their skin tone. But the cigarettes and the consciousness and the mindset, a lot of the things, which is what I'm saying, come out of their thinking, because we have gotten so caught up in how they think and the way they want us to think. If you as a black man in America or a black woman in America do not think that you have been programmed, you need to come out of that thinking. If you believe that the world is okay and that we have not been oppressed and things are not that bad for black people, you need to get out of that thinking, because the only people who are actually here saying that more specifically is white people. It's not that bad for them. They don't have it that bad. Look, they have jobs. They are on TV. They had a president. Is it really that bad for them? Look at our communities. Go to the worst communities in America. Go to the West in Inglewood. Go to the West Side and South Side of Chicago. Go to the ghetto in every black community and tell me that the black man and the black woman is doing all right. If you as a black person want to tell me, I want to smack fire from your face. Because that is blasphemy. That is blasphemous. And they say things that you go against God. The last time I checked, the black man and the black woman is God. So when you say blasphemous statements that, we are good, that we can make it in this world because a small few of us make it. But I'm talking about the whole of black people. And then I'm not just talking about the whole of black people in America. I'm talking about the whole of black people in the world. When you look and use God's eyes to look across this world, and that's the eyes of every black man and black woman, When you look at God's eyes and stretch them across this entire world and expand your mind to see, you will see that everywhere that the white man is and the black man there, the white man is doing his best to oppress. Not to impress, but to oppress. But it is the same thing that I am going to do. I want to impress upon you, not oppress you, but impress upon you that you have powers. And the only reason you are not able to use their powers, because you are not, again, we're going in steps. You have not been able to come out of their thinking. You have not been able to come out of their diet. And you have not been able to come out of their world. Now, what do I mean, their world? Oh, many people are not going to like this one. Their world of entertainment, their world of sport and play, their world of lackadaisical laziness, where you can feel that you can sit down and play video games all day. When you are tied up in social media all day, you need to come out of their technology. I heard somebody talk about getting into technology. You don't want to know why we're not so much in technology? I would even go, I've been reading the book of Enoch a little bit. And some of the things talks about the three bodies of Satan. The first one is the one that we are in now. These lower bodies of ourselves. Trust me, we had greater bodies than this. Then the second one is the augmentation of using it and connecting cybernetics to it. That's where that technology is going. We've seen many movies. We know about cyborg. But the third one is being able to take the consciousness out of the mind and put it and be immortal. That is the third body of Satan. That is what technology is going. That is why we are naturally not helping to advance it. Because if we help to advance technology and go into their world, that's where their world is going. If you have not watched the show that proves that this is what they're trying to go, called Altered Carbon. I remember when my minister first seen it. Again, my minister, Minister Raheem. I have to say that because I don't want nobody who might pop in later and hear me say minister and think I'm talking about any minister besides my leader and teacher in God, Minister Raheem Cassette Otten. And when I remember he showed me a video that he seen, and he didn't know that it was actually them promoting the show Altered Carbon. And he was like, man, look at these devils. He remember what I'm talking about. He was like, look at these devils and what they're doing. They actually have a way to put the consciousness inside of a robot. But that is what their technology is going. If you think that is an advancement, if you think that is something that we should be doing, no, come out of their world. Come out of their technology. Come out of the illusions that they are creating when they give you these virtual realities. That's their world. When they try to give you these movies that talk about post-apocalyptic situations, I'm sorry, the only zombies we see are the ones actually walking around now. The only sick we see. So a lot of people think that this COVID-19 and these vaccinations are going to create zombies. No, you're going to die. You're not going to be reborn. There is no such thing as the reanimation of a dead body. Once you dead, you dead. It ain't no coming back. You might get really sick, and the only thing that's gonna happen is you're gonna get other people sick. There is no such thing. Get that satanic, demonic idea out your mind that there will be a zombie apocalypse. The zombie apocalypse is now. Our people are the walking dead. And it is time to save yourself, and the cure is black power. The cure to the zombie apocalypse that black people are going through is black power. Because black power is all we need. And that power is black power is God's power. I am not separating God from black. When I talk about us and God being one, the only solution to the zombie apocalypse that has already happened, bump what the white man world is telling you is coming. I'm telling you about the black world that is here. That is here to stay and has lasted for trillions of years. In this black nation that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was calling the black nation of the earth, there will be no zombie apocalypse. Look around you. The white man is dead and is a zombie. The non-blacks and the rest of them are dead and is a zombie. We have to wake our people up. We have to kill them from the thinking of the white man. We have to kill them from the diet of the white man. We have to kill them from wanting to be a part of the world of the white man. And I understand, I love that somebody said in the room that I was in earlier. But it was like we think we have to get into technology. No, we have to go back to nature. I like how my minister says, he says it's time for us to go back to basics. Back to nature, back to Mother Earth. Understand that when you look, and it was a beautiful misinterpretation of what our ancient civilizations look like. Yes, we were a technologically advanced people, far superior past anything today. Which is why when that white man and Black Panther went into Wakanda, he seen the technological advancements of that place. He could not fathom that Black people was that advanced. He thought Tony Stark was a genius, but he had to rethink that. Sure, when Tony Stark went to Wakanda, he had to come back in himself and be like, wow. But again, that is just how the white man is captivated by us and have always been. When they went into the ancient school of ancient Kemet and was being taught, and your Socrates and the rest of those other white scholars that you want to call scholars and philosophers and all this, they learned in our mystery school. And the small things that we taught them, you think that they are some of the greatest thinkers in the world. But when they came to Kemet and seen what we had going on, and understand when I say Kemet, you know, there are some people that believe and know that Kemet was one whole place called Africa, that it is Africa today, that it was Upper and Lower Kemet, that was all of Africa. Because again, we've seen this entire planet as one. And it was separated into 12 nations. There are 6 continents, and each continent was separated in 2. Then had a further breakdown. But I will go into that right there. Because I always believe this is something that I believe, right? This is something that I believe, right? That I believe. That under Antarctica is some of the most fertile land on Earth. Because it's one of the 6 continents. And one thing about all the continents, and this is one of my teachers has shared with me before, that we have to understand that we name the continents. Have you noticed as the people that every continent starts with an A and N in the A? It starts at the beginning and ends at the beginning. Because what is the first letter of the alphabet? It is an A. And who do you think actually created the alphabet? They? No, we did. We taught them everything that they know. So when we created the alphabet and named the consonants, they were named for a reason. Past when we left them after a certain point, we renamed them for what they need to be. Because Kemet was almost the entire nation at that time, and that was what the king of that time and his nation wanted to call it. But when we talk about that past and that history and that great empire that they came into Kemet, they came into our world and took this information into their world. So again, when I say come out of their world, there are so many things that we love, that we are attached to, that we are not willing to let go. Many of our people will not be able to enter the promised land at this time. But at the end of it all, we all will be together again. But as I continue in this lecture, after I told you about coming out of her, it is now time to talk about what separation fully looks like. Because that was coming out of her thinking. Now it is time to separate fully. And what does that separation look like? When enough of us, and there's a good number of us that have no sympathy. And what do I mean by no sympathy? I'll put it basically like this. When you kill a fly, do you have sympathy for it? Do you cry and be like, oh my God, I just killed that fly? Well, what about a roach? When you step on a roach, do you feel, oh my God, I just killed that roach? Do you have sympathy for that roach or fly? Or what about a rat in the alley that you see and you're like, oh my God, somebody needs to kill that rat? Or spiders, or get where I'm going with this. Do you feel sympathy for these creatures? The same way how you are able to burn and step on ants as a child and have no sympathy for doing it is the same way you should look at the rest of the non-blacks. Because when you separate for yourself, you should not worry about anything that happens to them. And I know many people are like, but Minister Taharka, I have friends, I have family that are non-blacks. I grew up with these non-blacks. I got white friends, they're all not that bad. at the core, every white man. How at the core, in the subconscious, let's take it this way. In the subconscious mind of every black man and black woman is God. At the subconscious mind of every non-black man and woman is evil. I didn't want to say devil, because the devil don't exist. It's just God and evil. Just good and evil, right? At the core of every one of them, look at their history. I don't care that there's a few good ones now. If they're not willing to serve, and we're going to get into that one a little bit. When we separate, they can't live with us. They can't sit at the table, but they can serve the table. They may not try to poison us, though, but they can serve us. They won't be enslaved by us. But the white man, the Arab, the yellow man, the red man, whatever color man, that's not the black man. Again, this is not a hate talk. This is just not having no sympathy. Do you hate flies because you killed one fly that came into your house and they call you a fly hater? They call you an anti-flyist? That made me laugh too. Anti-flyism, because you don't want flies flying around your food. Understand, when we want to destroy cancer, are you called anti-cancerism? Understand what's the cancer to Earth. Understand who is the cancer to black people. Understand that it is time for us to understand the disease of the white man. But I want to read a little bit more. My spirit said read a little bit more. Because at this time, right? At this time, many of us can't go to that level that I see. Because what I see is what we're getting to. But what I have to show you with you is how we get there. Because I already see what we do once we get there. I see the powers that we would get back into. I see the godship that we have. But many people have to understand this is the black man and the black woman. I'm going to bring it back to y'all level. Because I already started with bringing y'all to my level. So I'm going to put it on a base level. Because we have to start somewhere. We have to start in our community. We have to start physically separating ourselves from their world. I understand that it's going to be hard for many of us to separate from our job. Because how would I take care of my family? How would I do this? How would I do that? Do you think the same people that followed Elijah Muhammad worried about separating and understand that they were doing for self and circulating that black dollar amongst themselves? Do you understand that when Black Wall Street, more the Greenwood district of Tulsa, Oklahoma, separating was doing for self, that they didn't need the white man at all? And no, just because it was bombed in 1920 don't mean it was just a few years old. That community was thriving for years, about 30 years before it was destroyed. That they were doing their thing. They were trading all over the world internationally, which is the same thing that we can do today. Do we not understand the power that we have? Right? One of the most deceptive but powerful things that have been created recently, another tool that the white man has been using to try to find those who can lead our people for real, and then put in place and let others who ain't really gonna bring our people, as the minister calls them, just armchair mystics. But they are not just armchair mystics today. They are social media mystics. That they are not going to get from behind their phone. They're not going to get from behind their computer. All they're going to do is take you on these deep conversations and be like, the white man is this, and we used to have these powers, and this system is toxic. The government not for them, but they ain't gonna never actually sit down with you in person and actually need you to do anything. Because again, 2 years ago, I did a lecture called COINTELPRO is my religion. Then I did another one that said black is my religion. COINTELPRO is a sub-religion. Black being my religion is the top religion. But with COINTELPRO, the reason why I said COINTELPRO is my religion, because I like using the word religion in a way that it's actually meant to you. Something that you are bounded to and believe in. That you know to be true for yourself. And one thing that I know to be true about COINTELPRO, that it told us that it will give us our leaders. And I don't care where you see them. I don't care what platform you hit them on. Trust me. For instance, we in the temple deliver one of the most impactful messages that our people need to hear today. If you have ever heard Minister Raheem Cassette Aten teach, you will understand what I am saying. If you have ever heard the fire that I bring to our people, you will understand what I am saying. Many people ask, why aren't we promoted on a certain level? Because we're living in their world. Do you think they want to hear the things that we have to say in their world? Do you think that they will let us utilize their platform to actually spread our message? Do you know how many times we talk about shadow banning and all of these things? To understand that they have a mission, that they want to, and they will omit that this is their mission, but they have no plan in letting Black people take their rightful place back on planet Earth. And see, when I say separate, understanding that our separation gives us the capacity to build something for ourselves, to take over the earth. See, separation gets you out of the mindset, because listen to me clearly. There is no way that you can become the best version of yourself while you are living amongst anyone else but the other people that are your other self. And I have to stick to that, right? Because I know for an assurity that if enough of us seen the we that is I inside of each and every single one of us, that if we have empowered ourselves to a certain level, but we loved ourselves and loved each other as ourselves. See, when we talk about divine love, a true divine love, a love after the manner of God, that is the type of love that we need to have for each other. Because that I see you as you are myself. Not love thy neighbor as you love yourself. No, love thy neighbor as if they are yourself. But I want us to love ourselves a little bit better. As I talked about the things that we need to come out of, speaking of that diet, if you truly loved yourself, you will be consuming the right things. You will be around the right people. We have this base level of love that the white man has given us. We don't truly understand how to love ourselves. We don't understand the words that we use have the power of life and death. I was having a conversation with a powerful sister. She said sometimes the messages, just the way that I articulate my voice and the words that I use when I speak to other people, when I want to share something that uplifts them, the compelling and the passion that you hear in it. Man, it is time for our people to wake up. It is time for us to see the beauty that we have. The same way that the sun is the beauty and is the glory of the day, we, the Black man and the Black woman, is the beauty of planet Earth. So once we understand and see that and can come into that, the separation becomes easy, because it's not such much a separation from their world, it is a coming together and a unification of our people. I'm not focused on separating from them. I'm more focused on becoming divine, unified with my people alone. Understanding that when we come together, when we start educating our children properly, when we start farming again and start eating properly, understand that no man or woman designed the way we are designed to eat meat. And I understand that at this time, definitely not as much meat as we eat. I personally believe that if you can't truly just become a raw vegan, that at least eat 80% of a plant-based diet. Because if you do not do that, it understands why many of our people look older than they should. Why I have a mentor who's been a raw vegan most of his life, and when people ask him his age, some people think he's 50, maybe 60, but the man is 85, looking like a 50-year-old. We understand in ancient times, well, we don't understand, I know, and those who know and have explored more information. And I only don't mention this book yet because it is not a prescribed reading of the Toma Nation. So as I sit on the Toma Nation platform, as me and my Minister Raheem goes through it before we bring it to our people as something that we believe and know will help our people get to another level, I won't go too deep into it. But as it is said in many other texts, as we talk about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and his supreme wisdom, he mentioned that there will be a right few that will be ready. And we in the Toma Nation, we are looking for the righteous in North America, the righteous right here in the hells and byways of this country called the United States of America. Because those will be the ones who are ready. I believe that we need a black gated conscious community amongst our people where we can do basic things, where we can build homes for each other, where we can build technology and we have our own social media network, where we can properly communicate with each other. We have and create our own banking system. That if we want to use money, we have our own currency. I'm not talking about we have to build one. No, we actually already have one. Many of us don't even know that it exists. The same way the US dollar that you use is fiat currency. We as black people have our own fiat currency for black America that is already right now valued on the same level that the US dollar is on, but I'm not going to get into that on this lecture. But understand when I say come out of her world, that means come out of her economic system. Come out of the way that she does business. Get out of that greed. Get out of that jealousy. Come out of that emotion. Get back into love. Come back into God. Separate yourself from the thinking, the diet, and this world. And so we can create our own. And what does our own look like? What can we do to build it? How can we have proper economics? And I will bring it to a level that the everyday black man and black woman, because again, I'm looking for a certain small few. The Toma Nation is looking to save all of our people in black America. There's other people who want to save all of our people in the world. But I'm looking for a small few. But we're looking for the righteous few here in the Toma Nation that are ready to dedicate themselves to doing better, to convert themselves and to save our people and be that light and let their light so shine before man that they see your good works. And understand that the power that is inside of you, that as you walk down the street, as we do good amongst each other, as we spread love amongst each other, that is the main thing that we as a people need to do. That when we understand and tap into that power, when we share that love, and when we fully come together and we rise again as the phoenix rose back then, and we let ourselves be that power. Oh man, and it's so funny. I'll go into a little bit of my studies with this one. I recently fully know why we in the Toma Nation use the phoenix. You might not know that star in that hand represents the phoenix being reborn, but it is time for the black man and the black woman to be reborn in America, to regain their superpowers. And when I say superpowers, there's no power greater than the black man and the black woman and our unity. The highest wisdom is that of our divine unity. No black man or black woman should see another black man or black woman outside of their self. See, and when I first came into the temple and the minister was sharing that with me, I didn't understand the level that he was talking about this oneness that he sees and just bringing everything into this oneness. And I didn't understand it at first. Even after my studies and knowing the things that I know from a book. And again, I'm only stopping myself from mentioning the book on this platform for specific reasons. Because I want to make sure that our people are ready. That I don't want to take us further than what we need to go at this point. And that's one of the major things that my minister shares with me. That if the information can't help us right now, and then that's some information, what can't help the black man and black woman on the base level, and I've even noticed that as I have conversations with our people in the street, as I have conversations with people that think they woke, when I share with them that they're not ready for that information. They want to give it over to somebody else. They don't want that responsibility. Boom. That's what these last 20 minutes are talking about. The responsibility that comes with you being God. And the reason why many of us do not want to accept that is the responsibility of us. The responsibility that comes with it being on us. We look for somebody else to save us. We don't want to put the blame of our situation on us. So there has to be some God. There has to be some power greater than us that allows us to be in the situation that we are in. There has to be some power higher than us that will get us out of the situation that we are in. Again, there is no power on earth strong higher than the black man and the black woman. And then there's no power in the universe that is more powerful than when we are united as one. And when I say we, I'm talking about every black man and black woman on this plane of existence called Earth, but not in this state where we have forgotten who we are. We talk about forgetting our history in America. We talk about forgetting our history before slavery, but we have forgotten that we are eternal beings, that we are spirits living a human experience. And then we have forgotten that we control our own universe. We hear so many conversations about power of manifestation, the power of gratitude, the statement I am being one of the most powerful statements. But are you willing to accept the responsibility that comes with being God? Are you willing to accept the responsibility that we are in the situation that we are in and we've had the power to end? Are you willing to respect the responsibility, take care of your fellow brother and sister, to be the one to help them come up out of themselves? Are you willing to be that light? As it says in Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. Do black people not want that power because of the responsibility that comes with it? Are there many of our leaders who are not actually pushing to our people to have this power because they even see the responsibility that comes with it? Do you understand that if you are to choose to be a leader in your community, the responsibility that comes with it, the same responsibility that when you have children and people talk about you have to be ready for that responsibility. Are you ready for the responsibility to be one of God's chosen messengers, to be that light in your community, to be one out of a million, one out of a trillion? Well, it's not even a trillion, one out of a billion. Are you willing to be one in that number? One of the righteous that are willing to come out of her? Well, then join with us. Find out how you can become a part of the Toma nation. Understand how we can aid you in going from human being to supreme being. Understanding why there is a reason why we went through the pressure that we have been through as a people. How that coal, that hard coal, becomes a diamond only through the pressure and the fire. Why we had to learn what evil was. How we have to be able to clearly see that the white man is the devil. How we can see economics and the history and what we have done for our people and the beautiful people such as S.B. Fuller, who has created for us a blueprint for how we can do it, or Ken Bridges, or many of our other black leaders that we don't truly talk about, truly understanding our history and becoming the righteous, being in our communities, creating the community, patrolling our communities. We're the original man in black. In Chicago, we are committing to any of those who want to join us in cleaning up our communities. Because the way the communities look, it was something that was said earlier. You can judge the mindset of the people by the way they guard and look. I'm going to tell you, you can judge the mindset and the lowliness of our people the way our communities look. So if we in the original man in black, and then I'm going to put a call out to men to join the original man in black after this, but we, those already in the original man in black, as we bring this initiative to the We Care Coalition, it is time for us to clean our neighborhood from street to street, from block to block, from community to community. And those out there in the nation, those across Black America, you should get on this same initiative, because if we want our communities to be better, we have to see them as better. That if we have vacant lots in our community, clean out those vacant lots. Other people are using our communities as trash cans because they don't see us valuing it. The same way how you have to value the temple that you are, you have to value the earth that is your temple for your body to live in. And it is time for us to clean the temple. It is time for us to clean our homes. The same way that we come out of their world, they have convinced us that in our world we have to live like this. So come out of that thinking that we as a whole have to live like this. We should be doing better business with each other. We need to have our own everything. And when I say our own everything, I literally mean our own media sources, our own banking systems, our own government. Does the black man think he cannot govern himself at this time? do we need and feel that we have to go to them? Do we have to go to them and ask them for certain things? Why do we have to go to mass to understand begging the white man for reparations? Again, I told y'all I'm going to make some people mad with this lecture. Why do we feel like begging master for a piece of his cake is something that we need to do? Why are we asking and going to powers of white supremacy, powers of this world, the powers that be, the big brothers, whatever term you want to call those that are in control of planet Earth? Why do we feel that we have to go to them to ask for permission to do for self? The black man and the black woman has always been able to do for self. We have just forgotten that we have. We have fallen so far away from who we truly are and what we can do. And in the Toma Nation, we can get you to remember. We will aid you in going through the steps to change your mindset from the mindset that you have. And we will show you how we are at war. Because we are at war. If you as a people cannot see that you are at war, understand that the powers that we have and the tools that we can use to wage this war start with you understanding how the war is being played. Understand how they are using religion to keep us divided. Understand how they are keeping politics to keep us under the wraps. Understand how they're using their economic system to keep us where it is. Understanding, did you know that they were trying to make violence a disease? Understand things like that. Understand how that COVID-19 was not just used to institute a virus, but it was used to find certain people who were naturally, right? Naturally not defect, but be able to be immune to that virus. For instance, I'll give you a random one. I had people around me who got COVID. I never once caught it. Understand that they are looking the same way how we know that there's a chosen few. Understand that the white powers that be, the same way how in the time of Jesus, the wise man told him that there was going to be somebody coming to the throne. The same way that the white man knows today that there will be those of us born of certain bloodlines. And they've been trying to find these bloodlines. That's why they put up all these blood and systems and blood drives in our schools and our communities. I had a friend of mine who told me, who was in the military, that they kept on saying that they lost his blood and he had to keep on giving them more blood. You know, they found something in his blood. And they wanted to utilize it. We've known that they have been utilizing our organs and our system to try to make themselves live longer. Understanding that there's a time out for that. And once we make it up in our mind, right, that we no longer have sympathy for what happens to them. Understanding that their judgment is happening. And understanding that if enough of us get to that point where we no longer care about the judgment, that the rest of y'all that do not want to come to the other side and come out of her will be judged with her. Will be destroyed. And we're talking about the fall of America. And understand that when America falls, is a domino effect of the West, of the powers and the empires of the devil falling his way. Understand that it is now time for us to be the one that come together, that do the right, that fast and pray, to get out of that diet, to have a more connection and understand. And I said this to somebody one day and they was like, man, that makes the most sense. Who are you praying to when you pray? Who hears you when you pray? You do. You praying to God. You praying to you. So it's time for us to unite. It is time more than anything for the black man in America, but more specifically, I will bring it home. I would say it is time for the black man in Chicago and the black woman in Chicago to love each other, to be that example, to have that ripple effect go across the nation. It is no more longer time for us to fight each other, to be against each other, to hate each other. It is time for us to love one another, to see each other as ourselves, to come together to do good business with each other. There's something that we have partnered with Restoring Hope Ministries and Minister Victoria Brady. She like being called pastor, but I believe when you administer the truth to our people as she does with such a fire, as she is an administrator of the truth of our true creator. And one of the things that she has done, and we are working together with her, is Gideon 300. Understanding that as we have a base of operations and a foundation, that we need to come together. And you can support Gideon 300, but we are looking for 300 people to each give $300. And then with that fund, we'll be able to create a foundation or maybe a bakery or some type of financial structure or business structure for us to have that same fund so we can go and start helping fund other Black businesses. We have to stop waiting for them to grant things to us, and we have to become the bank for ourselves. As I close with the last 9 minutes or so that I have to speak to you, I just want to say, I love Black people. I love being Black. I want to see a brighter future for ourselves. I want us to understand that we must separate, and we must separate now. But the longer that we live in this society, as long as we stay connected to the devil and his demons. Oh, I'm gonna do a whole lecture about that one day. The devil and his demons. But when we go into this and love one another and come out of her and do the things that we can, understand that if we don't do it now, then who? If not you, then who? If not we, then who? If not now, then when? Do you want your children's children to still be dealing with the devil the way that we have been dealing with the devil? Do you want your children to deal with the devil the way that you have dealt with the devil? Do you not understand and see that if we were to separate and just build a world for ourselves, that it would be better than this world that we even live in today? That we are not able to even fathom the riches of the world that we can create. But we can just look back. We can just remember and look back. As the Saint Kofa says, look back to move forward. We need to look back into the greatness of who we always have been. Understanding that we are the descendants of those who created the sun, the moon, the stars, the other planets. We have to remember the times that we once had. And once we begin to remember the great valleys of the now civilization valleys, the greatness of ancient Kemet, the powers that have, and how we were the first educators, how we were the first inventors, that we knew how to fly before they knew what a plane was. We were educating our people while they were still going and running away to caves. And they were in the dark ages when we were already illuminated. Understand that we just have to remember and get out of this state of self-forgiveness that has caused this evil to happen for our people. And that I just ask you to wake up. And as we wake up, we can do more. We can accomplish more together. There's no more time for you feeling like you are the big I or not wanting to work with other people because you have this ego. Again, I and me and you are one. There's no big U's or little I's in this because there is oneness and only one God, and that one God is inside of all of us using all this. So your idea did not come from you. It came from that God, and that God is in me, the same God that is in you. So why can we not sit together as different expressions of that same one God? The same way how there's different names that refer to the same God, we are different expressions of that same one God living this experience today. We might know all, we might know how to do it, but we all need to experience it together. So it is time for us to unite. Enough with that foolishness of us being divided. There are too many powerful Black leaders who are not willing to sit at the table because we have emulated the white man's ego. But understand that they have done something that we are not even able to do. They can hate each other, be at war with each other, but when it comes to dealing with us, they will sit at the table together and be like, how are we going to destroy Black people? We need to do the opposite. And we need to sit at a table and say, how are we going to unify Black people? I leave you as I greeted you in the ancient holy words of peace, in that of our ancestors. In Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Abaragani, Alafia, and Ashe. Peace, peace.
Thank you so much for joining us for our Toma Nation weekly Sunday worship service. If you have enjoyed what you have heard today, please feel free to support our grassroots movement on Cash App at TOMANATION. Once again, that's TOMANATION. Please join us each and every Sunday from 12:30 to 2 p.m. live here on Facebook and on YouTube. Next Sunday's lecture is by none other than Minister Omari Jahi Aten, and the title of next Sunday's lecture will be, Is Love Sex or is sex love? So please tune to us next Sunday at 12:45 for that lecture. Thank you so much for joining us today, and please feel free to share this video with your friends, family, and your local Black community. Thank you so much. Peace and blessings.
Are you feeling fatigued and can barely make it through the day without some type of caffeine?
Are you on a journey of healing your body but need a little help?
Then alkaline water is what you really need.
Alkaline water has many benefits. Alkaline water can help restore pH balance in the body. Consuming beverages such as soda and coffee can make your body acidic.
Did you know that too much acid in your body has been linked to an internet, heart disease, obesity, diabetes, autoimmune disease, chronic pain, and other chronic conditions like gout and arthritis?
Those who use alkaline water have reported increased energy levels, clearer skin, reduction in inflammation, better digestion, and many other health benefits. I've used alkaline water for years, and it's been instrumental in sustaining my health when I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis.
Are you ready to take responsibility for your body's health?
If the answer is yes, then our alkaline water is just what you need. Bring your own bottles. It's only $3 for each gallon. To place an order or for more information, you can reach us at 773-846-3091. Thank you in advance for your support.